Your reaction to this news today that apparently Andrew McCabe, the former deputy director of the FBI, under James Comey, will not be indicted or charged in this investigation into his behavior surrounding the Mueller probe here. What is your reaction to this?
Well, first is disappointment. This is a gentleman who did just a great disservice to the FBI by his actions, dealing all and around the investigations, around the Russia investigation and other things leading up to it. So it's just disappointing in that fact that he's able to skirt around what most Americans feel like he shouldn't have been able to skirt around. But also, let's keep our eye on the bigger thing right now, and that is that Bill Barr is taking these cases, he's looking at them, but John Durham is out there as well, taking the overall look at how we actually got into this to start with. So, look, people like McCabe can go off and talk about how they were exonerated or not. The fact is they ruined their reputation. They ruined the FBI's reputation. They ruined the Department of Justice's reputation because they had motives against this president. And it's just frustrating to see. And I understand how people can be frustrated, but let's keep our eye on the bigger picture, and that is that he's no longer with the government, and he can commentate from wherever he wants to on this.
Yeah, on a different cable network. Let's talk a little more about the Attorney General. William Barr is going to testify before the House Judiciary Committee. What are you going to ask him?
Well, we're going to talk about where we're at with some of these cases. We're going to talk about the issues with the Horowitz report, the issue with the FISA court. Why have, as we had with Director Wray last week, why have the directives have been implemented, but yet we still feel like there's more to be done? And why were there issues with these reports, these Woods documents, these Carter Page leaks? Those kind of things I think will be coming out. It's just good to have him actually being able to come, and Chairman Nadler not finding a way to mess that up again as he did all of last year.
Well, we know they're going to have a lot of questions about this Roger Stone situation. What do you think will come to light from that?
Anything dealing with Crossfire Hurricane, and that would include all this with Roger Stone, needs to have a serious look at it. And then when you look at the case itself, I mean, from a legal perspective, as a lawyer, I'm sitting here saying, how would a judge not see that there was jury bias here? How would they not see on the appeal that was actually made by by his lawyer?
So do you agree that there should be a retrial, declare a mistrial and start over?
Just by what I have seen on its face, I think there's a strong case for that. Again, there's probably always details that you want to get into further, but just on what I have seen so far, there's a strong case to be made that you either retry this thing or it affects really the integrity of the whole case.
Do you think the president ultimately, no matter what happens here, is going to pardon or commute the sentence of Roger Stone?
I have no idea, and I think that's, for the president, that's always in his discretion to do whatever needs to happen. But I think at a certain point in time, this Mueller probe, this, going back through all these, Russian investigations and everything that's been out there, it's time for it to bring this plane in for a landing. We know this started off on false premise. We know it started off with a dossier that's paid for by Clinton and the Democrats. We know that all this thing come from a tainted background to start with. It's time to put this behind us and let those, through the Durham investigation and others, begin to pay for what they did, because no president, as he has said many times, should have to go through this again.
All right, well, Doug, let's talk about you, Congressman. Your race here against Kelly Loeffler for the Senate. This is going to be one of those jungle primaries, which means you're actually competing against Democrats in the same primary as well here. But, there has been a lot of pushback against your run for this Senate seat here from Mitch McConnell's Republican Senatorial Leadership Committee. Why are they so opposed to you running for this seat?
Well, I think they know what I can do, and I think they know, they've watched it over the past year, that we take conservative values and we make strong cases and strong arguments for that. And really what's happening right now is simply an incumbent protection, and that's the way Washington works. I'm not a creature of Washington. I speak what I believe, and I fight for the things that I believe in. And I think when we move forward and take this to the people of Georgia, when we talk about First Step Act, which was the criminal justice reform, which this president is championing, when we talk about issues like that matter to people, we're going to be able to make that case to the American people and push back against the Democrats as well.
Yeah, that's one of those issues that has bipartisan support, of course, the First Step Act. And, we'll see what happens with this race. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. Congressman Collins, great to see you as always, and we'll check in with you real soon.
Look forward to it. Take care.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems, or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.